It's a quiet, sunny morning at the family home. The laughter of a baby girl fills the air as she plays with her small, loyal puppy. The two are inseparable. Wherever the baby crawls, the puppy follows. It's the kind of love that warms hearts, pure and unconditional. But in a cruel twist of fate, tragedy strikes. The baby falls severely ill and the parents' worst nightmare begins. Days pass in the hospital, but there's no sign of hope. The doctors deliver the heartbreaking news. Their baby girl is gone. A funeral is held, the air heavy with grief. The small puppy, confused and heartbroken, refuses to leave the baby's side. Just as the coffin is about to be closed, something miraculous happens. As the puppy licks the baby's face, her hand twitches. Is it just a reflex, or is there still hope? Welcome to AI Film City, where we share heartwarming stories that inspire and touch the heart. If you enjoy emotional tales filled with love and compassion, please like, subscribe, and share to join us on this journey. The morning light filters through the curtains as the camera pans across a cozy family home. On the living room floor, a 10-month-old baby girl, full of innocence and joy, giggles while playing with her little puppy. The puppy, a fluffy ball of energy, darts around her, wagging its tail. It's a picture-perfect moment, capturing the unbreakable bond between them. The parents, watching from the kitchen, smile as they see the two playing together. The father calls the puppy's name, but the little dog refuses to leave the baby's side. Wherever the baby crawls, the puppy follows, always alert and protective, as if it understands its role in her life. The mother laughs, picking up her phone to snap a picture of this heartwarming scene, knowing these moments will be treasured forever. Their life is peaceful, full of love and warmth. The baby squeals with delight as the puppy nudges her hand with its tiny nose, bringing another round of laughter from both her and the parents. In this beautiful world, everything feels perfect. But underneath this bliss, no one knows that life is about to take a cruel, unexpected turn. One that will test their strength, love, and hope in ways they could never have imagined. Life can change in the blink of an eye. What was once a joyful home is now filled with worry and dread. The baby girl, who once filled the house with laughter, suddenly falls ill. At first, it's just a fever. The parents reassure themselves it's probably just a cold. But as the days go by, her condition worsens. The little puppy senses a change, staying close by her side, refusing to leave, as if guarding her from what's coming. The parents rush her to the hospital. Every second feels like an eternity as they wait for the doctor's words. Hope fades with each test result. Machines beep, sterile white walls loom, and the once happy sounds of the baby are replaced by the hum of hospital equipment. The puppy is left at home, staring at the door, waiting for her return, unaware that its best friend is fighting for her life. Doctors gather around the baby, their faces grim. The words no parent ever wants to hear shatter the silence. There's nothing more we can do. The family is told to prepare for the unthinkable. The day no parent should ever face arrives. The baby, so full of life just weeks ago, is now lying peacefully in a small white coffin. The air is heavy with sorrow. Friends and family gather, their faces solemn, hearts heavy. Her parents, barely able to hold back their tears, stand together, holding each other for support. The world feels colder, emptier. Their once lively home now feels like a distant memory, quiet, still, and lifeless. The puppy, unaware of the finality of it all, sits by the door waiting. It doesn't understand why the baby hasn't returned. In its innocence, it still believes she'll come back any moment now. The bond between them was something beyond words, a connection that only the pure hearts of a child and an animal can share. The funeral procession is quiet. Only the sound of soft sobs fills the space. As they say their final goodbyes, a piece of them is left behind with her. No one can explain why some lives are so short. The cruel reality of loss is one that tears at the soul. Yet, in the midst of this heartbreaking goodbye, something stirs. A feeling that maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end. But for now, it's a time of mourning, a time to grieve the beautiful soul that was lost too soon. The world stands still, and the final moments of farewell begin. The funeral reaches its climax. Silence falls over the gathered crowd. The baby girl's parents stand by the small coffin, their hearts aching as the priest says his final words. The pain in their eyes is unbearable, the weight of this loss crushing them. As the coffin is gently lowered, there is a collective breath, as if time itself pauses to honor the little life that was. And yet, just on the edge of the gathering, the puppy still waits. It sits patiently, its eyes fixed on the crowd, searching for the little girl it loves. In its heart, it knows something is wrong, but it doesn't understand. Its tail twitches. Its ears perk up every time a voice raises slightly, hoping, waiting for her return. As the parents take one last look at their baby girl, tears streaming down their faces, the world seems to hold its breath. It's a moment frozen in time, one that they'll carry with them for the rest of their lives. The final goodbye is said, and the baby is gone. At least, that's what everyone thinks. The puppy, however, senses something. There's a connection between them, a bond so strong it defies explanation. As the coffin is lowered into the earth, there is a sense of finality. But little does anyone know, this isn't the end. In the depths of their grief, something extraordinary is about to happen. The moment they feared would end it all might just be the beginning. The service ends, but the puppy doesn't move. Its eyes, full of loyalty and love, are fixed on the spot where the baby girl was laid to rest. It's as if it knows something that no one else does. The family begins to walk away, but the puppy, determined and persistent, starts to move toward the gravesite. Its small paws press into the soft earth, its nose twitching as it catches the familiar scent of the little girl it adored. The crowd disperses slowly, their heads hanging low, but the puppy presses on. Its tiny heart is racing, filled with an unexplainable urge to reach the baby. The parents, too lost in their grief, don't notice as the puppy moves closer. And then, something remarkable happens. A faint whimper, barely audible but unmistakable, echoes in the air. The puppy freezes. Its ears perk up. Could it be? It inches closer, sniffing the ground, its tail wagging slightly as if it senses a presence. The whimper comes again, louder this time. It's not just the wind or the rustling of leaves. It's her, the baby girl, thought to be gone, stirs beneath the soft blanket covering her. Slowly, gently, her tiny hand moves, reaching out instinctively. The puppy rushes forward, licking her hand, nudging her, as if trying to coax her back to life. And then, against all odds, the baby girl's eyes flutter open. A spark of life, fragile yet unmistakable, shines through. The impossible has just become reality. Time seems to stand still. The puppy's gentle nudging continues as the baby girl's tiny fingers move again. It's a moment that defies all logic, all reason. The baby, thought to be lost forever, is beginning to stir. Her parents, still grieving by the car, have no idea that something extraordinary is happening just a few feet away. The puppy lets out a soft bark, almost as if trying to call for help. Slowly, the baby's chest rises and falls, her first breath, after what seemed like an eternity. Her little eyes, still adjusting to the light, blink open, and she looks around, dazed and confused, but undeniably alive. The puppy's tail wags furiously now, licking her face as if trying to welcome her back. The bond between them, pure and unbreakable, has somehow brought her back. The baby's fingers reach out, weak but determined, and she grabs the puppy's fur as if clinging to the only thing she knows. It's a scene so full of love and life that it's almost impossible to comprehend. The rescue is far from over, though. There is still fear, still doubt. How can this be? The baby lets out a small, weak cry, and it's that sound, the sound of life, that finally catches the attention of her parents. They turn around, their faces pale with shock and disbelief, as they see their baby girl moving. A miracle, against all odds, is unfolding before their eyes. Her parents, frozen in place, stare in disbelief as the impossible unfolds before their eyes. They rush toward their daughter, their hearts racing, unable to process what they're witnessing. The baby, who moments ago was lifeless, is now moving, her tiny body stirring with life. Her mother drops to her knees beside her, her hands trembling as she reaches out to touch her baby's hand. Could this really be happening? Tears stream down her face as she feels the warmth in her daughter's fingers. The puppy, ever loyal, sits beside them, watching intently as if knowing it had just played a part in something miraculous. The father, too stunned to speak, watches in awe as his little girl's chest rises and falls with each shallow breath. It's a moment of pure, overwhelming emotion. The grief that had consumed them just minutes ago is now replaced with hope, a hope that they thought they had lost forever. The parents hold each other, their daughter nestled between them, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and relief. They whisper her name softly, almost afraid that this is a dream that might vanish if they speak too loudly. But it's not a dream, it's real. The baby girl, against all odds, has come back to life. And as they hold her close, the weight of the moment finally begins to sink in. This isn't just a miracle. It's a second chance, a moment that will change their lives forever. As the family embraces, the puppy sits quietly by their side, its eyes full of love and understanding. In this moment, it becomes clear that the bond between the baby and the puppy was more than just companionship. It was a lifeline. Their connection, so pure and unconditional, had defied death itself. There's something profound about the way animals can sense what humans cannot. And in this case, the puppy's love had brought a miracle. The parents, still in shock, glanced down at the puppy, realizing the role it played in saving their daughter's life. Without its instinct, without its loyalty, they might have lost her forever. It's a realization that fills them with gratitude, and they know that this little puppy, in its own way, is a hero. The baby, still weak but alive, lets out a soft coo, her fingers curling around her mother's hand. It's a sound that fills the air with hope, a reminder that life is fragile but resilient. The puppy nuzzles against her, offering comfort and warmth. Together, they sit in the quiet aftermath of what can only be described as a miracle. This is a story of love, of loyalty, and of the unbreakable bond between a child and her faithful companion. It's a story that reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope. And sometimes, that hope comes in the form of a small, loyal puppy who refuses to give up. Thank you for watching this heartwarming story of love, loyalty, and second chances. If this story touched your heart, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with others who may need a little hope in their lives. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an inspiring story like this one. Together, we can spread the message of compassion and kindness. Join our community, where every story is a reminder of the power of love and resilience. Your support means everything to us. Thank you.